Call all Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. Shalom, shalom. Mic check. Shalom, shalom. All right, come. We're good. All right, so shalom. I want to begin a camp lesson off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father. It's kind of windy out here, and I don't want my stand to kick over when I turn around, but Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushua, Ba'Shem, Harakah. Double blessing, honestly, apostles and elders, a great millstone who taught us truth through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushua. Back out here with another camp lesson, man. This is going to be talking about things going on in the world, things that's been going on this past week. Just kind of hit on that, talk a little bit about, these times that we're coming upon, perilous times, whatnot. The downfall of this kingdom, the Edomite's kingdom, and like I said, it's pretty windy out here, so yeah, you can see my garment, man. So I'm gonna go over a few topics in the news and whatnot. Hit a few articles, read a few headlines and whatnot. And Lord willing, to be edifying those out there listening and watching, man. So without further ado, let's get into it. So it's been lots of storms and whatnot going on throughout the United States. Like, I just got an alert right here. It says massive tornado sweeps through U.S. town in terrifying video. And then you got a good part of the Midwest or whatnot, or like the central region of America, it's flooding, experiencing flooding and stuff. I seen a video from my cousin who's in Arkansas right now, and they experiencing some flooding and stuff like that. So I want to read this article from you all, for you all first, though, from about Donald Trump and whatnot. I want to see if I can try and get this. I guess I ain't gonna get this video, but he's continually been laying people off and whatnot, as well as. Hey man, I'm gonna just say this. It's a hard time right now to find a job in America. I'm definitely gonna say that. A lot of people losing their jobs and stuff like that. Right now, all around the economy is just fucked up, man. All right, you have all these different tariffs that they keep on implementing. We're going through trades, wars, and stuff like that. All right. And I always go back to this point. It's the funniest shit I heard this lady Kamala Harris say. She said that the economy is going very good right now. The economy is doing well. It just make me laugh, man, because how could you say that with everything going on? Here it is. You have wars and stuff going on, right? America just bombed Somalia, a country that's been going through famine and stuff like that. A lot of their children is malnourished and shit. And millions of them are suffering from famine. You got people over here in Gaza Strip have not found no aid or no relief in 3 weeks, right? Going on 4 weeks now. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this Donald Trump article, man. The wisdom is truly departing from Edom, man. This man is making threats, right? You have him saying if Iran makes nuclear weapons, it's gonna be a problem, right? Russia says if you fuck with Iran, it's gonna be a problem with you. Then they also have conflict with China as well. The three big dogs in the BRICS, America is pissing them off more and more. All of these tariffs and whatnot, and putting crazy taxes on imported cars and stuff like that. And these tariffs are also going, well, number one, they already are leading to mass job layoffs, right? And they're going to continue to lead to mass job layoffs. A lot of people out here are going to be struggling, man. It's about to get real, dude, right? Let me get 1 Timothy real quick, or 2 Timothy, so like, it's about to get real out here, man. It's about to get real. Difficult times will come. This is 2 Timothy chapter 3. I low-key want to read out my book today, but it's okay. I'm gonna just stick with the phone for right now. This to know also that in the last days perilous times shall come, right? And it also speaks in the book of Ezra, 2nd Ezra, right? That the storehouses will be the sown places will be found unsown, and the full storehouses will be found empty, man, right? So it's gonna come to a point where all of these tariffs and whatnot that he's imposing, pissing these countries off or whatnot. Shalom, y'all, Bashim, y'all, Shabrakata, Shalom. He's imposing these tariffs and stuff, right? We're going to trade wars, China, Canada, Mexico, which you really haven't heard about them much in the news recently. It's really just been China, Russia, and Iran, as well as the Houthis, right? It was an attack they did the other day that killed like 70-some people, right? And all around, America is just bombing all of these Arab nations. And we know what the scriptures say about that, right? That they all gonna join together. That's in the book of 2nd Ezra 15 and 30. That they all gonna join together and come against this bitch. Now, I wanna read this. I wanna read this from Donald Trump, man. It said, call hello, y'all, Bashim, y'all, shot, man. Trump tells Americans to hang tough through economic revolution as stocks plummet amid tariffs. Won't be easy. I seen a video of a guy, and I told the brother this. This man was damn near crying because he lost his investors $150 million. The stock market, I believe, you know, I don't even want to, let me just get the facts, man. Market loss and I want to just do in March. They said in the wake of President Trump's tariffs announcements and China's retaliatory measures, because here's the thing, Donald Trump making all of these threats and whatnot, and he was expecting these countries to just lay over like some pussies, like they wasn't gonna send something back, right? In response, he was just expecting them to lay down as if he, like, you know what I'm saying, like he just that cold or that terrifying. The U.S. stock market experienced a significant decline, losing over $5 trillion in value, with the S&P 500 dropping nearly 6% in a single day, okay? But yeah, you have people telling me to invest my money into stocks and shit, right? This is a terrible time to invest in stocks. Every time you hear something about the stock market, they're talking about how we're gonna have a recession that's worse than 2008, right? That's all you hear. Now, mind you, the U.S. debt dollar, the U.S. debt clock reports that it's at $36 trillion. Trillion dollars. And even then, that number isn't correct. It's way higher than that because Esau Edom, man, they just like to lie. They just like to lie, man. That's all they do is lie. It's over 36 though. All you hear in the news is Dow Jones and NASDAQ. That's all you hear. So he says, hang tough through economic revolution as stocks plummet amid tariffs won't be easy. He told Americans to hang tough as stocks are plummeting following his implementation of tariffs on a number of countries. China has been hit much harder than the USA. Not even close. It was this report that they did in 2025 that I believe that the United States was ranked the lowest on the terms of happiness scale out of all the countries. But we're doing worse than China. Okay. I wonder if these Trump supporters are still like, okay with they pick. Even if it don't matter who was in office. This country was declining anyways. It was going down anyways. It says China implemented a 34% tariff on U.S. imports in response to the president's tariffs, which he signed on Wednesday, a day he's repeatedly referred to as Liberation Day. Despite uncertainty in the markets, Trump has maintained that his use of tariffs will lead to better trade deals and a manufacturing boom in the U.S. Mind you, if you all didn't know this, the reason why he's putting these tariffs on these places, you had like the revolutionary, what's that shit called? Damn. The Industrial Revolution, right? Back long ago in the 1900s, we had lots of companies who had actual factories in the United States. I know that's crazy to think about. A lot of the things that we had were being produced in the U.S. Now, a majority of those things are being produced in countries like China, right? And other countries overseas. So the U.S., basically, if China wanted to say, or all these other countries wanted to say, we don't want to give you nothing else, the United States, the economy will collapse. Germany is thinking about pulling out, I believe it's like either 120 or 150 million dollars worth of gold out of a New York bank. Because we know that Germany for years now, for the past couple of years, their economy has crumbled as well. The Ashkenaz, right? Those Edomites. So if you just look at all these signs that's going on with these other countries and whatnot, you just think to yourself, eventually this shit's gonna happen to America, right? Well, that's not the thought of the American people. The great pride of Americans will not have them believe that their country will ever fall, right? So I want to get two scriptures regarding that. All right, this is 1 Thessalonians 5 and verse 1. Concerning what Donald Trump has said about telling Americans to just push through. And I know it's tough. The day of the Lord, but of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. And I was just reading this in the book of Matthew chapter 24, right? Where it speaks on no man or nothing like that knows when the coming of Yahweh Shah will be, right? But in that day where you least expect him to come, right, it's going to be the day that he comes. So you always have to be on your toes, man, on your P's and Q's. That's why it tells us to be circumspect and vigilant, right? For when they say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. All this dude Donald Trump has been talking about That's how he wants to bomb Iran and how he wants to manage their use or their what's the word I want to use? Their use or their creation of nuclear bombs. Why are you so afraid of them creating nuclear bombs? Trump, Department of Defense, whoever. I don't know why my fucking screen is so damn dark, dude. Can't see me. Yeah, why are you in such a fear of them making nuclear weapons, right? Look, man. Esau Edom know their time is coming, man. That's why you see all these, EU warning people, stockpile food, 3 days. And I seen a video of a guy, he basically reporting on the news. He does a good job of getting relevant topics and whatnot concerning all the things that's going on. You're gonna need to stockpile more than 3 days if you trying to prepare for what's about to happen now, right? You have people making bug out books and shit, turning their basements and their homes in the fallout shelters and whatnot, right? Bunkers, which is not gonna save you either, Esau. But ye brethren are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief, right? Like I said, going back to Matthew 24, and it says this, roughly paraphrasing. If the homeowner would have known that the thief was coming into his house that day, he would have prepared himself better. But no person is expecting a thief to come into their house. That's why you have to always be prepared. Mentally, spiritually, and physically too. But that's definitely a part of it as well, right? The spiritual aspect and the mental aspect being over the physical aspect. Ye are all the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness. Therefore let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. It also speaks on, let's get it real quick. I'll go, because I'm going to come back to the book of Matthew anyways. All right, this is Matthew 24:36. But of that day and hour knoweth no man, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. But as the days of Noe, which is Noah, were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be, which is Yahushua. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking. That's our people, man. All they want to do is party. They want to go out to the clubs every week, want to live in party mode, right? That's like everybody else. Marrying and giving marriage until the day that Noe entered the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be, right? So like I said, that same spirit, man, it's in 1 Peter. It's in 1 Peter. I'm going to get your scripture in a second. All right. It's in 1 Peter chapter 4, right? Let me get it. I believe it's in 1 Peter chapter 4, verse. No, it's not in 1 Peter 4. Let me see, it might be in 3. Let me get your scripture real quick. This is 1 Peter 5 and 8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour, right? As it reads in Revelation 12 and 12, the devil has come down upon you because he knows that he have but a short time. Esau Edom knows that their time clock is ticking, man. Here it is. This dude said when he got in the office, he was going to try and stop these wars and de-escalate the situations. This nigga has made it worse. He's made it worse, right? I want to get a scripture regarding that as well. Let me see. But let me try and find this real quick. It's a scripture where it's speaking of, let me see. I might be able to find it. Since the prophets of old like the time, no. Let me see. Is it in 2 Peter, man? I'm drawing a blank here. You might not want it to come out, man. I don't know. For the righteous man dwelling among them, and seeing and hearing grace was righteous. I'm gonna just continue on. Let me see. I'm gonna go ahead. But yeah, man, they know that their day is coming, that their kingdom is falling and crumbling. And it's nothing they can do about it. Honestly, it's out of their hands, right? I'm gonna go back to this, man. Let me get this. On Truth Social, the president touted companies making investments in the United States and told people to hang tough through what he promises will be an economic revolution. On Friday, the Dow Jones was down by 2,200 points, or 5.5 at closing. The NASDAQ and the S&P 500 also both closed down 5.8 and 5.9%, respectively. It was the worst trading week since March 2020. Trump claimed that the past trade deals made the United States into the whipping post for other nations, and his current tariff war will end that. Okay. We have been the dumb and helpless whipping post, but not any longer, he wrote. We are bringing back jobs. We are bringing back jobs and businesses like never before. Already, more than $5 trillion of investment. And rising fast. This is an economic revolution and we will win. Hang tough. It won't be easy, but the end result will be historic. We will make America great again. The post-Trump tells Americans to hang tough through economic revolution as stocks plummet and tariffs won't be easy. First appeared on Mediate. So, what is that? Psalm 58:3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. Let's get it real quick. Let's get this actually. Let's say Corinthians. For we are not ignorant of Satan's devices. It's funny to see how many people don't know how to fucking drive. Did I spell ignorant wrong? I did. All right, this is 2 Corinthians 2:11. lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices, right? So we understand that the Edomites are the sons of the wicked, man. All these things that they speak, these words and whatnot, it's just words, man. Because we know deep down, they plotting some other shit, man. Right? They're like the death adder. Poison, man. Complete wickedness. As it reads, man. Let me see. Matthew 24:24. For there shall rise false Mashiachs and false prophets, and shall shew great signs and wonders, and so much that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect, right? So more so focus on that. If it were possible, they would deceive the very elect, right? The Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, has blessed us with a spirit of discernment to be able to see through a lot of bullshit, man. A lot of things. Being able to read spirits or whatnot, being able to see things for what they are, is a blessing from Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua that only comes through fear of the Lord, right? It's the only way you're going to get that type of power, that type of spirit, okay? It's the only way. Now, I got a couple other articles I want to save. I definitely did not save this article. I don't know why it's up here. Look at this witch. Women be looking crazy, man. All right, I'm gonna get this. I want to read 2nd Ezra chapter 9 first real quick. It's basically like this. I still want to get that scripture though. The days second that's 2nd Peter. No, it's not. Oh, it's lucky. 3 and 4. Yep, here it is. So this is going back to where I was reading in Matthew 24, I believe it was 37 or 38, where it's talking about the times of Noe and our people living in a spirit of partying and drinking and all that stuff, feasting, right? Our people still go out to the clubs and whatnot weekly, right? We have friends that are like them, and they go clubbing and partying every single week. Yet they're not, you know what I'm saying? They have a little bit of awareness of what's going on in the world right now. But they're still blind, man, because they haven't hearkened unto this truth. Ak, if you're still on here, if you're still on here, say something, because I gotta say something that's funny about that as well. If you're still on here, let me know. But it's in 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 3. And it reads, the coming day of the Lord. Knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers walking after their own lust, and saying, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of the creation. Right? That's that spirit, like I always say, that's going to get our people caught up, man. That spirit of, oh, it's not going to happen. Oh, we got time. Y'all been saying this, man. How come it didn't happen yet? Right? They want, it's because we're prophesying and saying that these things are going to come to pass. They want it to happen like that, instantaneous. Like the Lord works on your time clock. It's not how it works, man. For this they willingly are ignorant of, that by the word of the Most High Power the heavens were of old, and the earth standing out of the water and in the water, whereby the world that then was, being overflowed with water, perished. Another example of that would be when Lot warned his stepsons that the angels were about to come and destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, and they were about to rain fire on that bitch, and they thought to themselves, oh, they thought he was joking, man. So they got left in it and they died. That's how our people think. They think that everything is a joke, that these things in the world are not signs from Yahweh Shem Yahushua, right? That's completely false. That's the opposite. But the heavens and the earth, which are now by the same word, are kept in store, reserved unto fire against the day of judgment and the perdition of ungodly men. And perdition, let me get that word again, Salakia, because I just blew mine. Oh yeah, Salakia, perdition means destruction, man. And we know that the son, or the man of perdition, are the Edomites, right? That's all they do. It's funny to see these videos, and I'm going a little bit off topic, but it's funny to see these videos. For instance, it was a Jake, 17-year-old, who just deleted a Edomite who was like the same age. They was at a meeting, stuff like that, and they try to paint a picture as if we're so violent, like we're just the most, like they call us, man, savages and shit. Like we're just the most violent group of people on earth, when it actually is them. It's funny. That's the actual form of projection, right? But going back to what I was saying, since she's still here. So, like I said, our friends go out, they party and club and all this shit every weekend, because that's what fills their void, right? That's what helps their happiness, so to speak. Here it is. We had this situation, like I told y'all last week, I believe, or the week before that, whatever it was, about my friend asking me, or bringing it to me about him doing something with a woman who had a husband. And I told him, don't do it, it's adultery, all this other stuff, right? So I asked him again today if he did it. He went through it with it. He said no. Now I said this is judgment, man, and it's just small judgment, right? But he's not gonna understand that. He was driving and they went out last night and stuff like that. He was driving and this nigga tire blew out off a pothole, and he was somewhere fucked up, right? That's just small judgment from the Lord, because honestly it could have been worse, right? But his tire blew out, and I don't believe he was able to get it fixed until the next day, because the nigga didn't change the tire himself. So, but he's just complaining now in the group chat and shit. I always have bad luck with cars, da-da-da-da-da, all this stuff keep happening to me. I wonder why, my nigga. You know the truth, but you have not heard unto it. So that's just judgment from the Lord, man. That's minor judgment, though. That's not shit, really. But let me get back on topic. Just wanted to say that real quick. All right, this is 2nd Ezra 9, verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And that's our job, man. We're measuring these times diligently, yep, thoroughly. Looking at all these things that's going on in the world, lining them up with the scriptures, bringing them out, edifying those out there listening and watching the hopeful elect of Israel. Lord willing, we be at that number, of course. But that's what we're doing, man. We're measuring these times. We're saying, oh, this is happening. The scripture's saying it's happening, right? That's a correlation, okay? This thing's not happening by coincidence, man. There's no such thing as coincidence, man. everything that goes on under the sun, everything that goes on earth is the doing of Yahweh Bashim Yahshai. As it reads, man, the Lord ruleth in the kingdom of men, right? He shut up over it whoever he wants to, even the basest, the lowliest of men, right? So they getting their chance at rulership right now. You funny. He says of the lowliest of men, right? They're getting their chance. They're getting their poke at it right now. But soon, we're about to get our poke at it, man. I don't understand why these people keep driving. They don't have a stop sign. It's a three-way, but they keep stopping when they're trying to turn. You could just go through it. The other people have a stop sign. Stop stopping. I don't get it. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people and the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning, right? So all these things that's going on the earth, man, it was already planned out from the beginning of the creation, man. When the 144,000 help Yahweh built the earth and the heavens. Here it is again. But the day of Yahweh will come, the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night. This is 2 Peter 3:10. In the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. And the people of Christians will read that and say, man, the earth gonna be destroyed. When it also reads in the scriptures, the earth bottom forever. And when this word earth, when you get it,
Strong's G 1093. Gay.
I wasn't expecting it to say that, but hey, the word is gay. Anyways, it says arable land, the ground, the earth as a standing place, the mainland, as opposed to the sea or water, the earth as a whole, the earth as opposed to the heavens, the inhabited earth, the abode of men and animals, right? A country, land enclosed within fixed boundaries, attractive land, territory, region, right? It's just talking about a piece of land. It's not talking about the earth as a whole, man. You have to understand that. If your spirit will receive it. If not, that's on you. But let's get back to it. U.S. airstrike deletes 70 Houthi militants in Yemen Red Sea as targeted terror plot foiled. Muammar al-Ariani, the Minister of Information, Culture, and Tourism, announced that a targeted airstrike by U.S. forces on Tuesday, so this past Tuesday, deleted 70 Houthi terrorists. Here's my thing. Why are they called terrorists, but the Americans are not called terrorists? You ever thought about that? Including key. Actually, I want to get something about that, man. Let me get this. I've been waiting to pull this scripture out too. I've been waiting to pull this scripture out. Let me see. I got it saved in my photos. Yep, I took a screenshot of this. Where it's at. Come to Papa. Yep. Psalm 73, verse 6. Woo! Hey, man. The end of the wicked contrast with that of the righteous. This is Psalm 73:1. Truly, the Most High power is good to Israel, even to such as are of a clean heart, meaning mine. But as for me, my feet were almost gone, my steps had well nigh slipped. For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. Right? Because if you look in this in this kingdom, man, the wicked, it's in their nature. It's for them to prosper in this kingdom, man. It's not for us to be rich or to have a gain of materialistic things, of vanity and stuff like that. This is for the wicked to enjoy their lives, because as it reads, man, the greatest will be called the least in the kingdom of heaven, right? So all these people, let them, you know what I'm saying, it's their time to shine and stuff like that. We're gonna stay lowly. We'll be meek, man. We'll be the meek of the earth. Okay? We don't care about living this lavish life. Right? You see these wicked people out here, man. They get all the women, the cars, the clothes, the hoes, all that shit, man. They can have it, man. We're gonna get, hey, you know, I had to double it. We're gonna get even more of that, man, in the kingdom. More than they pea-brain ass minds could even imagine. So we don't even need to focus on that right now. Let me see. Verse 4. For there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men, right? They don't get plagued or get chastised. As it reads, man, the Lord chasteneth those who he loves. He chasteneth his children as if a father were to chasten his son. So if you don't get chastened by the Lord, that means you're not of his children, dude. That's what that means, right? So we get held by a higher standard. We get punished or get corrected harsher, because it's our duty to lead and live a life striving for righteousness, right? Let them live in the wickedness. They not gonna get judged as, or I don't want to say judged, but like I said, corrected or bump their head as hard as we do, because ultimately their punishment is saved for the day of judgment, man. Therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain, violence covereth them as a garment. And that's my point, man. Right? Esau, Edom. Hey, as it read in the book of Genesis, by the sword thou shalt live. Right? In his heart, he was speaking other things, but war was in his mind, right? He said one thing on the surface, but on the other hand, he was thinking of war, man, violence. That's their nature. But we get painted as a bad person, right? We get painted as a bad people. Remember, we were the ones that were in hardcore bondage and slavery, and they beat and broke and raped us and took our women. But we're the savages. We're the violent ones, man. Right? I'll read it again. Therefore, pride compasseth them about as a chain. Right? You see? It's like around their neck. Okay? And that's how these Americans are right now, man. Especially the Edomites, man. They live in a complete mindset of pain, of pride. So like I said, they don't think that their kingdom will even come to a fall, and I'm gonna get that in Obadiah after this. Violence covered them as a garment, man. They are covered because that's their nature, man. It's in their nature to be a violent people. That's all they know. They take people's shit, and then, hey, their reward's gonna return upon their own head. Just wait. Yeah, how about Shemel Shah got something in store for them, man? That's why we're seeing the collapse of their kingdom now. I'm gonna read this, Obadiah 1:1. The vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord, the Most High Power, concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord Yahweh, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye and let us rise up against her in battle, man. These nations are gonna come against Esau, Edom in battle, right? Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised, right? So we're seeing these countries, these nations, generally start to hate America. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. Right? Those bunkers, man. Whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground, right? So their pride is on high, man. They exalted themselves as an eagle. They don't think nobody could bring them down. They literally think in their minds that America is the greatest country on earth. Why would they think otherwise? The strike was aimed at a militia assembly located south of the Al-Fazar coastal area in the Al-Hadida governorate. In a press statement, Al-Ariani revealed that field sources reported the strike targeted a specific location used for planning terrorist attack on commercial vessels and oil tankers in the Red Sea, Bab al-Mandab, and the Gulf of Aden, posing a significant risk of international shipping routes and global trade. Look at this, man. This is how America gonna look, but worse. It's gonna be a desolation. They go around and fuck other countries up, but they haven't been touched yet, right? That's the Virgin Babylon. They haven't been touched yet, man. They will soon be touched though. Al-Ariani emphasized that recent airstrikes against Houthi militia sites in the last 2 weeks were directed specifically at military facilities, strongholds, arms, storage sites, and defense systems in multiple governorates. These operations successfully met their goals, leading to the deaths of hundreds of terrorist members, including top-ranking leaders from the first, second, and third ranks, he said. They're terrorists, but you're over there bombing their land faithfully, right? Esau Edom literally don't care about no other countries, no other nation of people. They don't even care about their own. They don't give a fuck, man. It's just how the Lord made them. They're cold. They're cold-blooded. They're cold-blooded, man. It's a lock. Furthermore, the minister highlighted that the recent U.S. military actions have created considerable confusion among the Houthi militia. Despite their attempts to hide casualties and downplay the impact of the strikes through a media blackout that prevents the publication of names and images of the deceased, he pointed out that these operations signify a substantial shift in the dynamics of the conflict with the Houthi militia, sending a clear warning that any threats to regional security and maritime routes will be met with a response. Okay, the brother put a scripture up. Their inward thought is that their house, Salaki, their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. This Psalm 49, verse 11. That's facts, man. No, damn well she's not supposed to have that little, I don't even know if that was a man or a woman, but they know they're not supposed to have that little kid up in that front seat with no car seat, man. Our people. But that's facts, though, man. They think that they're... It's funny to think about that, though, right? This is an empire. All the empires of the past have always failed, man. No empire ever lasted forever. What makes America so damn different than the other ones? They just figured it out, right? Got everything under control. Dude, the New World Order, that's going to be their attempt to revive their empire like they did before, after the Dark Ages, during the Renaissance era. But it's not going to work out like that, man. It's not. You're going to implement that C here. We're going to see, well, first we're going to see societal collapse. They're going to implement that C-HIP. And they're going to try and get people to join it too. Like I said, they new society, man. Right? It's not gonna work out like that, dude. This is Jeremiah 30, and verse 5. For thus saith Yahweh, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear and not of peace. Ask ye now, and see whether a man doth travail with child? Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail? And all faces are turned into paleness. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. For it shall come to pass in that day, saith Yahweh of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck, and will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him. Okay? So that's the period of time that we are coming upon. And Lord willing, we see that period happen this year, man. That's Lord willing, man. Exactly. None of them went past 250 years, and America's coming up on their 250th this upcoming year, man. Here it is. We're already in April, man. You know, you have reports of shit potentially going down April 50th, or Salaki, April 20th, over here in America, which, hey man, you hear people give these dates and whatnot, and you can't really go off of that. But at the same time, man, Esau Edom tongue has been falling upon itself. Yep, we're on year 249. On the average, it's 250 years. And that's not to say none have went past that. It's not to say that none have went past 250 years, because some have. But on average, they all fell at 250 years, right? And like I said, man, America has been on a decline. Even before 2020, right? I believe they said America's been on a decline since Elder Abba Bivens, right? Since the 70s, when he had a revelation, right? And the truth started coming out. But even then, like actual societal collapse was around like the 50s or the 60s, I want to say. That's when shit started getting really bad. It's not the same no more, man. It just started to escalate now in these recent years, man. Especially these past 5 years we've been in. It started to escalate more and more. Let's get this. I'm gonna just get this headline real quick. It says, Iran, like I said, Iran will seek nuclear weapons if U.S. attacks. Top officials say no choice. And he also has a problem of Iran backing the Houthis. It says, first German troop deployment since World War II lands on Putin's doorstep. Is that not showing you a sign that shit is getting bad, man? Germany has not deployed no troops on Russia's doorstep since World War II. Iran, like I said, it say then ancient Rome was around 200. Then Jake took over Khan, and Rome. If you look at it in the scriptures, man, they was the most out of all the kingdoms before them. They were the most advanced because they learned from all of their mistakes, right? They had, well, up into America, of course. But they learned from the Germans. They learned from the Greeks before them. They learned from the Babylonian Empire. They learned from the Syrian Empire. They learned from the Egyptian Empire, and so on. Russia says U.S. threats of military strikes against Iran are unacceptable, right? And they backing their people heavy, man. And we know that World War III is gonna be the end of all of this. So it's on the back burner. But all of these things is boiling over to. It's showing good signs that World War III is gonna come to pass. That's all I'm gonna say. But you know, there's also other prophecies that have to be fulfilled before then, like I said. Is it? So let me think. That time period that Jake took over was 1,000 years, known as the Dark Ages. Man, I don't want to talk about that though. All right, this is Jeremiah 49:10. Oh, let me get this. Prophecy against Edom, starting at verse 7. Concerning Edom, thus saith Yahweh of hosts, is wisdom no more intimate? Like I said, you see, you look in the news and you'll see Donald Trump said this, or Donald Trump said that, or they did this. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, that nigga Elon Musk is stepping away from Doge in the Trump administration. But you'll see him do this or that, and you'll be like, mentally, what was this nigga think? Like, what is going on in this dude's head? Concerning Edom, thus saith Yahweh of hosts, is wisdom no more teeming? Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished? Flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of Dedan. For I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him, the time that I will visit him. If grape gatherers come to thee, will they not leave some gleaning grapes? If these by night they will destroy till they have enough. But I have made Esau bare, I have uncovered his secret places. He shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brother and his neighbors, and he is not. So Esau is bare, man. They're naked. Donald Trump just said he was gonna release. I want to say. Let me look real quick before I close it off. We're getting ready to go to war. This nigga said he's gonna release like, I want to say 50 to 90,000 soldiers, dude. Exactly. Trump administration plans to cut 80,000 employees from Veterans Affairs. So yeah, man. The wisdom is departed from Edom. Their kingdom is crumbling. Donald Trump has did a good job of showing us that this is indeed the divided kingdom, man. Right? You have problems in the EU, problems with NATO. He's beefing with all these nations are coming against Esau Edom, man, against America, as it's spoken of in Revelation 17 and 16. And of course, there's Edomites in other places around the country and whatnot. But the majority of the wicked ones dwell here in America, man. So, Lord willing, we see the downfall of this place, and we see Jacob's trouble, man. We're ready for shit to get interesting over here in this country, dude. That's all I'm gonna say. So, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying adults out there listening and watching. I'm gonna close it off there. Give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba Hashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba Hashem, Yahweh Kakwadash. Double blessing and honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone once again, who taught us this truth. To the spirit and power of Yahweh by Shem Al-Shai. Oh, man. And until next time, I say Shalom, Israel. Shalom. And like I always say, one day closer to the kingdom, man. Just got to keep enduring to the end, dude. Sometimes things may seem like it's going slow, But when you look back upon it, you be like, man, that wasn't nothing, man. It just breezed by you like it wasn't nothing. So, hey, man, y'all brothers out there, stay blessed, man. And once again, Shalom.